From downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
I'm Jason Colthorpe, live at Children's Hospital, where a 7-year-old girl fights to survive a gunshot to the neck. Coming up, what we know about the shooter.
Help me, Hank, tracking down a man making a big mess in the city. You said to me it was going to be cleaned up in 30 days. That was your break. I don't care. I don't care. I'm done. You'll see the confrontation and you'll hear from the concerned neighbors.
But first, new details in the shooting of a Detroit police officer. Chief Craig questions a critical decision made by paramedics.
We got Henry Ford, Level 1 Trauma Center, who, by the way, specializes in neurological surgery. Why there? Why not there? It was closer.
Good to have you with us for Local 4 News at 5. We will get to that part of the story here in just a minute.
But first, let's get you caught up on the officer's condition. Chief James Craig today said the officer is in what he calls extremely grave condition. The 14-year veteran of the force was shot in the head Sunday night while responding to a domestic violence call on Detroit's west side. The shooter died at the scene.
As that officer fights for his life, there are new questions about why he was taken by paramedics to Beaumont Oakwood Hospital in Dearborn. As you look at the map, you can see there are 2 other hospitals closer to the scene, Sinai Grace and Henry Ford, which has a Level 1 trauma center. Rod Maloney's been digging for answers and joins us now with what he's learned today. And Rod, you talked with the ambulance company.
Yes, we did. We're here in Romulus, Devin, and this is the Rapid Response EMS ambulance company. And tonight they are here standing by that decision. They say it was the best decision to make at that time. Of course, the chief is questioning all of this. And so there's the question of time and distance and the condition of the police officer. And here's how it all played out today.
When I met with the officer's wife, without saying another word, the first greeting, you will, is, why is my husband here?
The chief is asking that question 2 days later, but at the very minute, Sunday night, a police dispatcher who looked at a map said into the microphone, So what is going on here? Why did an ambulance crew on the scene within 1 minute of the shooting take the fallen officer to a hospital some 7 miles away? Rapid Response CEO Tommy Widmer says for a very good reason, and one taken very seriously by his crew.
The direction and the roads were the best for that time due to being able to get there faster. The crew was thinking of time, not necessarily distance.
Widmer added his crew felt it wasn't a direct shot to Henry Ford Hospital, a Level 1 trauma center specializing in neurosurgery, that the trip had too many stops and turns in consideration of the officer's condition. And what's more, he says, Detroit police gave his ambulance a sizable police escort and offered no specific guidance on which hospital to go to, which is a regular occurrence. But Chief Craig is troubled by another issue.
But here's my commitment. A police officer shot in the city of Detroit, they need to go to one type of trauma center, Level 1. That's what I expect. That's what I'm going to demand.
Level 1 and Level 2 trauma for the crew, our protocols are very simple. Level 1 and Level 2 are lumped into the same.
So there are a lot of questions unanswered here that certainly have to get looked into. And that's where the fire commissioner comes in, because it's the fire commissioner who contracts with Rapid Response. And so I am told by the chief that he is doing an extensive investigation into the decisions made the other night and how all of these kinds of decisions get made, because the chief is adamant it shouldn't just be police officers, but it should be anybody in the city of Detroit who is shot in a situation like this should end up in a Level 1 trauma center, the closest to the scene. So there's a lot to be said. I have not heard back yet from the fire commissioner's office, even though I did call them today. Back to you.
Did the chief talk more about those kinds of issues in all of this part of this, Rod?
Well, you know, the chief is so upset about so many things. I mean, all of these things are weighing on him. One of the other things that he's concerned about is the lack of word from elected officials. He's concerned about when you see Black Lives Matter protests happen, why wouldn't there be a similar kind of march in the street when you have 8 officers shot in the last 7 months. He's deeply concerned about that issue. And of course, that sparked controversy this afternoon. I'll have the full update on that on Local 4 News at 6.
All right, Rod, we'll talk to you then. Now, other news developing right now. A 7-year-old girl is fighting for her life after getting shot in the neck late last night on Detroit's west side.
Let's get to Jason Colthorpe live at Children's Hospital where that little girl is being treated. And Jason, she was sound asleep when this happened.
Sleeping with her grandmother on the couch in their living room, Kim, and when she was shot, quickly rushed here to Children's Hospital where she is listed in critical condition. She has been critical from the beginning, although Detroit police telling me they're hearing she's made some improvement throughout the day, and that hasn't changed. Hopefully that continues. As for this investigation and the search for who pulled the trigger, Detroit police, not many answers, but they do have a suspect.
I know we're actively investigating.
It was 11:15 Monday night when shots were fired at this home on Monterey. A bullet hole clearly visible through the front window. Police say the 7-year-old girl was asleep on the couch with her grandmother when she was struck in the neck. Police have a suspect they say had threatened to shoot up the house prior.
Cowardly acts. More cowardly acts.
As Detroit police continue to investigate, a little girl sleeping in her grandma's arms, seemingly safe, brings back unfortunate memories for the chief of police.
It brings back when I thought about little India Williams riding her bike in the 11th precinct in her neighborhood where she should have felt safe. And two groups of cowards decided to descend on that neighborhood, engaging in car-to-car shooting incident.
Of course, India Williams riding her bike, and she was shot and paralyzed from the waist down. That was in 2014. No one brought to justice in that case. Detroit police hoping that is not the situation here. The description we're being given about the suspect isn't much of a description. A man in his late 20s, possibly 5'8", so not much to go on there. They also don't know if he walked up on this house and shot the gun or if he was in a car and able to drive away. They have no description of a vehicle, but right now, asking anyone who knows anything to call police. Back to you guys.
Let's hope that call comes in. All right, Jason. Well, the winds have kicked up a good bit overnight after we had another kind of dreary day again. Huh?
Dreary, breezy, a little chilly. Let's get over to Ben. Hopefully some sun is in store, Ben.
Yeah, we do have some in the forecast tomorrow, but when we get after that, that's going to be another story we'll get to in a second. Ford Live radar tracking some light showers that are moving through parts of Sanilac County. Likely this may start to expand as we get into the next couple hours, but anything we see is going to be on the light side. That is not the case for later this week. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Look at this forecast for rainfall totals. That red shade there is over 3 inches of rain, and that orange shade here, possibly on the east side, could be reaching over 4 inches. Now, that's a model prediction, so we're going to have to keep our eyes on it. But nevertheless, it looks like a soaking wet finish to the week. Tonight, though, temperatures in the mid to upper 40s, sprinkle possible, and we'll finally see those winds die down later. More on the impending rain coming up in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Ben. A heart-wrenching scene this morning on Detroit's west side after a deadly crash.
Local 4 cameras were rolling as family members got their first look at the wreckage on Schaefer and the I-96 service drive. But now we're learning the person who police say ran a red light and caused that deadly crash was on the run from police. Coco McAvoy shows how a shooting earlier in the morning may have played a role.
The scene is clear here now, but police say a 34-year-old man wanted in a shooting ran a red light here at Schaefer and 96 and crashed his vehicle into another car, killing a man inside who had nothing to do with this. And we spoke to a man who watched it all unfold.
It was almost surreal. It was almost like you couldn't believe what you seen.
Because what Marcus Preston saw was an innocent man get killed in a car crash. The 32-year-old victim's car so heavily damaged, it's unrecognizable.
And you see that car up against the rail and you saying to yourself, I would love for that to be an automatic driving car with nobody in that car, but you knew there was somebody in that car.
The awful crash stemmed from a domestic shooting earlier this morning on North Lawn Street. Police say the 34-year-old man fired shots into a home there. Officers began looking for the suspect and spotted him near the house.
There was a short pursuit that ended up going westbound on the Jeffries Freeway. Due to his speed, the units lost him.
A different group of officers caught up with the suspect, though, and followed him here. The man ran a red light and was going so fast.
He should have been on the racetrack.
He slammed into a car and killed the man inside. Preston, like many others, wishes it didn't have to end in such a tragic way. An innocent man losing his life.
Because you know it could have been you, it could have been any one of y'all right now. You just instantly start crying because you know that person had anything to do with it.
Out here live now, and the suspect is in custody, and police haven't released any information about him other than the fact that he is a 34-year-old man, and they are now investigating whether or not alcohol is a factor in this crash. Reporting live this afternoon, I'm Coco McAvoy, Local 4. Back to you.
Yeah, Coco, do we know whether or not the suspect ran that red light because he knew police were following him?
Well, I asked police that question, and police officers are telling me that they actually didn't have their lights on when they were following behind him. So they're not even sure that the suspect knew that police were following him. So they're still trying to figure out what would cause him to run that red light and cause such a terrible crash.
Yeah, terrible indeed. Okay, Coco, thanks. Well, we've got a look at some progress on the I-75 Rouge River Bridge project. This is good news.
Yes, it is. Today our cameras got a close-up look at the area that's being torn up. This is where the Goddard bridges are being rebuilt. We caught up with a project manager from MDOT who explained exactly what we were looking at.
Here at Goddard Road, we're replacing what was an over 2,000 foot long bridge. We're replacing it with two smaller structures. And in between the two structures, there will be roadway instead of bridges.
The shutdown of the southbound lanes on 75 downriver began in February. Commuters who used to take that road know that all too well because this is a project expected to take 2 years to complete.
Making progress, though.
Good
slowly
check-in,
but surely.
yes.
All right, another big shakeup in Detroit sports radio.
New here at 5 for the second time in just a matter of weeks. A well-known radio host is off the air. We'll tell you about it. Nick?
Take a look inside Little Caesars Arena. So much is changing on a daily basis, but there's another storyline here. We're going to talk about the number of jobs created both here and regionally.
You said it was going to be cleaned up by the end of the month, and it's not. So what happened? You said it was going to be cleaned up.
All right, you see Help Me Hank there demanding answers. The dramatic confrontation after Detroit business owner doesn't keep his promise to clean up a dangerous mess. That's next.
Great news. New at 6.
One of the victims in the San Diego shooting from this weekend is from Metro Detroit, and her grandparents describe the nightmare that's unfolded.
Then he just started shooting, and he was reloading.
Hear more from her grandparents as they tell us what happened and how she's doing now.
All right, Coco, plus moments after a rideshare driver tells two passengers to leave his vehicle, a chaotic scene unfolds. Hear him describe his terrifying night near downtown Detroit. That's new at 6.
Hundreds of tires taking over a Detroit neighborhood, not only an eyesore, but actually also a real danger. Unable to find the owner, the neighbors contacted Help Me Hank to look into it.
And consumer investigator Hank Winchester tracked down the man back in March responsible for the mess. He promised to have it all cleaned up by the end of April. Well, it's now May 2nd. Hank shows you whether this businessman kept his word.
How would you like this huge mess, hundreds of tires just sitting all over your neighborhood? For some people in Detroit, it is a reality. And now the owner being held responsible. A mountain of tires, a huge mess left behind. You said it was going to be cleaned up by the end of the month, and it's not. So what happened? You said it was going to be cleaned up.
Look, man.
That's the promise you made. I didn't make that promise, you did. And clearly neighbors not the only ones frustrated now.
Will you give me a break? And
No, I'm not giving you a break because you said to me it was going to be cleaned up in 30 days. That was your break. I don't care. I don't care. Why the anger? Why the outrage? Well, it's all over this disaster. Hundreds of used tires left and dumped at this abandoned property that caught fire on Finkel in Detroit. The owner, Shanisha Fox, and her husband, Joseph. When I first tracked him down in March, he made excuse after excuse, blaming everybody for this problem. You can't even walk down the sidewalk.
Okay, and like I said, and I showed you in the email, we're not doing that.
Mr. Fox says some of the tires are his, but he puts most of the blame on illegal dumpers. Yet the city of Detroit has fined only him over and over again. And when I tracked him down the first time in March, he promised to have all of this cleaned up by the end of April.
It's March 30th, so come back April 30th, it will be clean.
I came back yesterday and nothing had been done. Not one tire moved. And this time, angry neighbors were there to greet Mr. Fox to let him know what they think.
You keep on saying that the illegal dumpers did this and everything. Okay, well, you trying to say the illegal dumpers had to clean this up?
No.
Because who gonna clean it up? You're the owner of the building.
Wait a minute. Technically, the owner of the building, it's just like this.
Sir, it's inside your building. That's what I'm saying. It's clear as day. Every day I raise my window, open my blinds up. I say, damn, that's all I see is tires. I can't see nothing.
While there's been little progress here on site, some work has been going on behind the scenes. These documents revealing a negotiation between the city and Mr. and Mrs. Fox with a timeline to clean everything up by April 28th. But then a change to this deal, all because Mr. Fox says the equipment he needs, allegedly not available. It's yet another roadblock in a big battle for those living in this neighborhood to get this mess cleaned up once and for all.
I have kids, I have 2 babies, and it's just not safe. And you know, who wants to live next to this?
Back out here live just across from the City County building. City leaders are also frustrated. This is a copy of a very detailed statement we received from the city, but let me break it down for you. They do admit that a consent agreement was put in place. They did offer an extension to Mr. Fox to clean this up because of the delay of receiving that equipment, but they also add that failure to comply with the extension and the conditions of this agreement by May 12th will result in immediate criminal citations being issued. We're live here tonight. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Well, Hank, I heard you say in your piece that Mr. Fox has been fined over and over again by the city. Any idea how much he already owes?
Right now, according to city records, we're at almost $20,000. Those are the citations that have been placed on him during the last few months. And now, as you heard from the city, if this isn't taken care of by May 12th, he can look at criminal action.
My goodness.
Back to you.
Okay, we know you'll keep us posted, Hank. Thank you.
Here comes Ben, and as you can see behind Hank there, another gray, chilly day. Looks like May and April have traded places, maybe.
Make it stop, Ben.
You know, if it wasn't for the budding trees and the emerald green grass,
you wouldn't know.
It would seem like March or even early April. But we do have some changes coming, brief ones. That's the important word. And you look out over Comerica Park, they're getting set for baseball tonight. I think they'll get it in. It's just not going to be real fun to be sitting in the stands tonight. Already down below 50 degrees, and that wind gust at 32. We're going to see the winds gusting at least in the evening hours, and then once the sun sets, those winds will subside overnight. But so far, those gusts have been over 30 miles an hour in a good chunk of the area. They've come down just a touch here. 32 at Metro, 32 miles an hour at Monroe, Mount Clemens at 30, and then downtown 26 at City Airport. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot of moisture out there on the radar. We showed you that batch that's sort of moving through the thumb that's going to graze parts of Sanilac County. Could see a couple more sprinkles develop, especially 7, 8 o'clock as a little trough sort of works its way through. But the amounts are not going to be all that impressive. That is the opposite of what we've got to say by the end of the forecast. But on the good news side of things, Wednesday looks pretty good. High pressures are going to be settling in tomorrow. We'll finally get the clouds out of here late tonight, and that's going to allow some sunshine to come in here tomorrow. In fact, mostly sunny skies. That'll boost temperatures up to 60 degrees. Still not average, but it's better than what we had today. And then going into Thursday, you can start to see the next push of moisture come up. Just about the time we finish out the morning commute on Thursday, the rain begins, and once it starts, it's going to be with us almost nonstop through the day on Friday and then somewhat on Saturday as well. And those are the totals that we showed you at the top of the show. Could be ranging upwards of 3 inches and possibly maybe as much as 4 in a couple spots, depending on the track of that low. So we're going to be watching that very carefully for Thursday through the start of Saturday. Tonight, though, everybody goes to the 30s for overnight lows. Highs tomorrow, a little bit of an improvement with the help of the sunshine and the lack of cloud cover and the rain. 60 degrees in the city and also at the airport. Upper 50s in some of our northern suburbs up towards M59. Low 60s towards the Ohio State line. And everywhere else, primarily 50-degree temperatures. Mid and upper 50s out here in our west zone, and same goes in our north zone for high temperatures tomorrow. A little bit cooler towards the lakes. May not make it out of the 40s here in Lexington and Port Huron, but the winds are going to be lighter tomorrow too. So that's the good news. Then we go back into that wet stretch for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And believe it or not, if you look really carefully there on Saturday, there may be a wet snowflake mixed in there.
See, stop it.
You have to laugh.
Yeah,
what else are you going to do? But
a switch, isn't it? Yeah. All right.
All right. Well, let's get over to Dr. McGeorge. Hi, Doc.
Hey guys, well, there's a new warning tonight about a dangerous illness being spread by ticks, and it's not Lyme disease. I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, what it is, where it is, and why the CDC is so concerned about it spreading.
All right, Frank, but first, the convicted serial stabber who terrorized Flint admits to a new crime from behind bars. That's next.
A serial killer already serving time in Michigan confesses to an unsolved murder in Virginia.
Elias Abuelazam currently serving life for stabbing 5 people to death in the Flint area. In 2010, he was also named as a prime suspect in the case of a 44-year-old man who had been stabbed to his death, but that had happened in Leesburg, Virginia. Well, Abuelazam has now confessed to that murder after receiving immunity in that case. The victim's family says they're okay with the decision. State could soon be moving to outlaw female genital mutilation.
This, of course, comes as 3 people face federal charges for performing the procedures here in the Detroit area. The Michigan Senate Judiciary Committee started hearings today on a pair of bills to ban the practice. The act would be considered a felony, punishable by up to 15 years in prison. At least 24 other states already ban the procedure. A second Detroit sports radio host is off the air in as many weeks.
Another extremely talented guy, too. Matt Shepard, the longtime sports radio host on WDFN, let go on Monday by the station. Shepard confirmed the news this morning, thanking his listeners for their support over the years. He's got a lot on his plate. He's also the voice of Michigan basketball, Eastern Michigan football, and a host and sideline reporter for Fox Sports Detroit. But his firing comes 2 weeks after Terry Foster's retirement from 97.1 The Ticket.
New at 5:30.
On edge, what China is urging the U.S. to do after North Korea makes another veiled threat at all-out war.
A tongue lashing on Capitol Hill for major airlines over customer service. They left promising to do better. I'll tell you how.
I'm Nick Monticelli inside of Little Caesars Arena. The bowl is done, sound is going in, lights are up, but this is just one half of the story. The other half is something very good for Detroiters.
We've won over. Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5:30 starts now.
It's certainly something to celebrate after decades of decline. Detroit is near the top of a list that will make other big cities envious. When the markets collapsed back in 07-08, construction pretty much ceased.
Yeah, 2 million construction workers were out of a job across the country, 5,100 of them here in Metro Detroit. As you can see, construction is picking up again, but by how much? As Nick Monticelli reports, the announcement surprised many, and it came from a backdrop that makes a lot of sense. Nick?
For months, we've been watching Little Caesars Arena erect out of the ground and wondering what are things like inside. You've got an idea. We'll talk about some of those things, but there is a second storyline here. Jobs, and not just in Detroit. You could say Little Caesars Arena is almost done baking. There's still much to do, but seats are in, lights are in, even the scoreboard is being put together. But today, LCA was a backdrop for a conversation about them.
The rumors always get out first before the big jobs come along. So, you know, oh, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. So you kind of look at it and look down the road and say, hey, maybe I can get on that job.
Eric Robinson is a labor foreman on this job and says when the markets collapsed in 2008, putting food on the table became a concern.
I've experienced dry times. It happens. But now, I mean, it's a great boom.
And it turns out, especially in Detroit, the Associated General Contractors of America announced that Detroit is adding construction jobs at a pace faster than most of the country.
The Detroit metro area added new construction jobs at a faster rate than all but 6 of the 358 metro areas where we track construction employment.
In fact, Detroit added 2,900 construction jobs last year, a 15% increase.
This is an exciting time in the city of Detroit.
And some of those jobs are right here in this arena. 40 of these 70 companies working on this are Detroit companies, putting food on the table and pride in the workforce. Robinson, a born and bred Detroiter, likes showing his kids the projects he's worked on.
Got my my thumbprint on another one. So, and this may be my last one. Yeah, this may be it. I may be retiring after this.
At Little Caesars Arena, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Be able to say I helped build that. There is one downside, though, to the booming construction. They're having a hard time finding qualified workers. There are a lot of factors. The retiring workforce is part of it. Also, workers that haven't been properly trained, of course, been part of something the governor's talked about quite a bit. That's something that they hope to fix with proper vocational training and a push for that in schools.
Well, it sounds like something from a movie, but nearly 3 years after the fact, we're learning about a rogue FBI agent based in Detroit that married an ISIS terrorist. According to CNN, former FBI agent Daniela Green worked as a translator in the Detroit field office. In 2014, she left her family, traveled to Syria, and married known terrorist Dennis Cuthbert. When she returned back to the States, she was arrested and sentenced to 2 years in prison for lying about terrorism. Airline outrage on Capitol Hill today. Representatives of 4 major airlines grilled about their customer service.
Blaine Alexander explains how this comes in the wake of a series of videos that have gone viral that have raised concerns about how passengers are treated in the air. Blaine?
And hello to you from Washington. As one lawmaker put it today, you know it's a bad day when you're getting lectured on customer service by the U.S. Congress. But for more than 4 hours today, that's exactly what happened, with airline leaders promising to do better.
Today, top airline executives navigating rough air on Capitol Hill.
We're kind of sick of it as the consuming Americans. We got to fly, you got us.
Pretty soon you're going to charge to use the restrooms.
At the center of it, United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz, after a passenger is dragged, bloodied, off of a flight to make room for a crew member.
We had a horrible failure 3 weeks ago. It is not who we are. It is not this company. And frankly, it's not this industry.
It's the latest in a series of now viral airline incidents.
Sorry, someone's hurt a baby.
This American flight attendant yelling at a woman with her baby. A Delta passenger booted after leaving his seat to use the restroom.
I never want to see a paying customer pulled off of a flight to move a crew. You charter a plane if you need to do it.
Already at United, a number of changes. Customers no longer asked to give up a seat once on board. Customer compensation increased to a maximum of $10,000 and fewer overbooked flights. Lawmakers echoing common passenger frustrations.
In those teeny tiny awful seats.
Give me a number.
One congressman pointing out United raked in more than $800 million last year in change fees alone.
Seize this opportunity, because if you don't, we're going to come, and you're not going to like it.
A warning to airline companies, it's time to make the skies friendly again.
And following that United incident, a number of lawmakers introduced bills that would change the way airlines deal with overcrowding situations. So far, none of those bills have come to a vote. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
Okay, Blaine. A Local 4 update for you this evening. A man is now charged in connection with 2 bank robberies in Macomb County. 45-year-old Orlando Earl Allen. He is accused of robbing the Citizens Bank on Big Beaver Road in Troy and the Chemical Bank on 12 Mile Road in Warren last week. Allen was previously locked up for armed robbery and was sentenced to prison for bank robbery back in 2010. He was released around this same time last year. All right, across Michigan this Tuesday, we're following stories from Frankenmuth and Ingham County.
But let's start in Bay City. That's where a woman no longer has a felony on her record for posting slandering comments on Facebook about a former friend. 36-year-old Renee Kolka was on probation for a felony conviction of unlawful posting of a message after she wrote derogatory messages of another woman on Facebook and posted her phone number. Well, after being compliant during her probation, Kolka was allowed to withdraw her previous plea and instead pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor count of malicious use of a telephone.
And over in Frankenmuth, 2 construction workers were rescued this morning from Cass River. It happened near Main and Flint Streets in Frankenmuth. The workers were helping with the M83 bridge project when the flotation device they were standing on began taking on water. After several attempts, firefighters were able to rescue the men and pull them to shore. The men were taken to the hospital and treated for symptoms of hypothermia.
Now to Ingham County, officials say computer network security concerns won't affect today's local elections. The computer concerns prompted a shutdown of some Ingham County offices. Ingham County Clerk Barb Byram decided on Monday to close her Mason and Lansing offices. quote, due to an abundance of caution. But she told voters in East Lansing and Hazlet that today's elections on school issues in those communities will proceed.
A former police officer in South Carolina has accepted a plea deal after shooting and killing an unarmed man. Michael Slager shot and killed 50-year-old Walter Scott back in 2015. Slager had pulled Scott over for a broken taillight, but Scott exited his car and ran away. Slager then chased Scott, shooting him multiple times in the back. Well, today, Slager pleaded guilty to using excessive force. Scott's family says now they can finally start the healing process.
Today, he told the truth. He said he did it. And that's our victory. And the healing starts today.
Well, Slager was also facing murder charges, but those charges were dropped as part of the plea agreement. He still, though, could face life in prison, but will be sentenced at a later date. China is now urging the U.S. and North Korea to reestablish contact to avoid further escalation of tensions over North Korea's nuclear program.
That was the message from China's foreign ministry today, just a day after the U.S. sent 2 bombers to conduct a military drill over the Korean peninsula. Also today, the U.S. is confirming an anti-missile defense system is up and running in South Korea and says it can intercept a missile that could or might come in from North Korea. It was a cliffhanger ending to a long-standing contract dispute between writers and Hollywood studios. What other kind of ending would they have there?
Right. This is good, though. After weeks of negotiations, the Writers Guild of America and studio representatives reached a contract agreement avoiding a possible writers' strike. The new 3-year deal gives writers more money for health care, more pay episodes that take longer than 2 weeks to produce, parental leave, and a lot of other things. The Writers Union represents about 9,000 writers in Hollywood. All right, with the summer right around the corner, Michigan Secretary of State Ruth Johnson is asking drivers to look twice.
And that's because more motorcycles will be on the road here, and they are often difficult to spot. As you know, our Kim DeGiulio shows us the simple steps both riders and drivers need to take to stay safe.
For Vietnam War veteran Bob Ritzler, there's nothing quite like getting out on his motorcycle when the weather starts to warm up.
You get into curves and you're going this way and you're going that way.
Riding is what defines Bob. It's his way of appreciating the beauty that surrounds him. With plenty of motorcyclists out on the roads now with temperatures on the rise, it's more important than ever to put the phones away, focus on the roads when you're driving your car.
People are too distracted, they're not paying attention, they're driving.
That's why today, Secretary of State Ruth Johnson made a visit back to her hometown of Waterford to visit this ABC Harley-Davidson dealership to remind all motorists to look twice to save a life.
In our brains, we don't really focus properly. When we see a motorcycle, it's so small, we can misjudge it if we don't take that extra moment to realize it's different than a Mack truck.
Each year, 80% of people in a motorcycle accident end up being severely injured or die. So this reminder to be extra careful is important. It's not just people in cars that are causing these accidents. People on their motorcycles get distracted from things like Bluetooth helmets. However, Bob says he doesn't have to worry about distractions from things like that.
Look at my phone, folks. That's an antique right there.
Now remember, just having a driver's license isn't enough. There's a basic rider course that every motorcyclist needs to take. You can find a link to that course on our website at clickondetroit.com. Reporting here in Waterford, I'm Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
All right, Kim. And staying with transport, a heavily traveled highway shut down after a semi-spill causes a huge mess.
Ahead here at 5:30, what was flying all over the road that took hours to clean up.
Also, a group of police officers says they're as dangerous as any weapon on the streets. New tonight, the one item they are suing a toy company to stop making immediately.
Well, there's a new warning about a dangerous illness being spread by ticks, and it is not Lyme disease. Coming up, where it is and why the CDC is so concerned about it spreading.
Fighting peer pressure with a game.
He's not going to do your homework anymore. Okay, was I even talking to you?
See how a video game could be the secret to giving young girls the power to say no. Tomorrow, starting at 5.
New at 6.
A victory for those who've been fighting to save 2 Pontiac schools. New at 6. How a unique partnership will keep the schools open even after the state suggested they should close. Hank?
Pet insurance. It may not cover all the financial issues for your cat or your dog, why you really need to read the fine print.
Right now to good health. How your lunch break impacts your stress levels at work. Also, why some people need to skip the sunscreen every once in a while, which sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It does. We'll have that. But first, Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with new concern about an illness spread by ticks. And we're not talking about Lyme disease, which is what you usually think of when you think of ticks.
Exactly. Actually, it's called Powassan virus, and it's been around for quite some time. But really, it wasn't considered a big problem because it was spread by a tick that rarely bit humans. But that has changed now that the virus is being found in deer ticks. And it has infected humans in several states, mainly on the East Coast, but also in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Now, the virus can be transmitted to people in as little as 15 minutes after the tick bites. Generally, it can cause inflammation in the brain as the most serious problem, which leads to death or disability in about 60% of cases. And no one knows how far or fast this virus is going to spread, but the CDC is actively monitoring the risk. So tonight, new research suggests nearly 1 billion people worldwide may have insufficient levels of vitamin D, and lack of sun exposure may be partly to blame. Now, experts say while it is important to protect yourself from the sun's rays to prevent skin cancer, a little sun exposure does help boost your levels of vitamin D. Now, we're talking 5 to 30 minutes twice a week as enough, depending on your skin tone. Now, researchers say chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, Crohn's disease, and celiac disease also play a role by reducing the body's ability to get vitamin D from food. Now, finally, how do you spend your lunch break? Well, whether you're working or unwinding can make a difference. Research finds it can be a break from the stress of the workday if it's you that gets to decide which. Now, on the other hand, experts say being forced to eat with coworkers may actually add to your stress. The researchers also found workers that choose to spend lunchtime doing something relaxing tend to have the least fatigue at the end of the day.
Interesting.
This is all assuming you're getting a lunch break. I imagine in the emergency room, some days there's no lunch, right? Yeah.
No, a lot of times you skip it. Yeah.
So what are you working on for tomorrow now?
Well, actually, tomorrow at 6 a.m., I'm looking at the 4 most common myths about breast cancer, from how it starts to the role of heredity and the impact of implants. There's, frankly, a lot of misinformation that you may see online that actually could be harming your health. So coming up tomorrow at 6 a.m., we're going to be talking about myths regarding breast cancer.
Misinformation online. I've heard of
Imagine
this.
that.
Yeah, we'll check it out.
Time to clear it up.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Doc.